Good afternoon. This is the January 22nd winter weather update. We're starting off here with the infrared satellite picture over the North American sector, and you can see this green area. That is not clouds. That is the cold air that is just waiting to be unleashed into the central and eastern United States. And here is that on the satellite image overlaid is the surface. And there's that high pressure center that is responsible, or is going to be responsible for kicking off a pretty impactful winter storm across much of the southern tier of the United States, stretching from the southern Rockies through the southern plains, mid-south, Ohio, river valleys, Tennessee river valleys, into the mid-Atlantic, and approaching the area of interest, which is the Virginias and Carolinas for us. So we have this fizzled front that is currently crossing the area, kicking off a couple of showers here and there. Nothing too much to worry about right now, as temperatures are above freezing for the most part. Now, as we go forward, we're going to take a look at the NAM. And this forecast from the NAM is interesting. So first off, the NAM is probably the best model this time of year, especially dealing with winter storms, because it does really, really well with warm noses. And warm noses is what gives snow or ice or rain. And in this case, depending upon where you are, this is going to be very important, because it's interesting in that the NAM brings the warm nose really, really far north. So right now we're looking at surface temperatures, and going through the day Saturday, a cold air damming event. There you go, right there. This cold air damming event is going to set up by Saturday night. So notice that on either side of the Carolinas, so in eastern Tennessee, it is 32, 31 degrees. Over here at the ocean, it's even warmer, 45, 50 degrees. In between, it is low 20s. Cold air is being filtered down from this high pressure center, and it's damming up against the Appalachian Mountains. And this is creating a cold air damming event. Cold air damming events is where the ice storms are created across the Carolinas. You got a shallow layer of cold air, described by the low 20s, like 23 degrees, in the western part of North Carolina, or near the upstate South Carolina. This is underneath a very warm layer of air, and the NAM really does a very nice job at depicting these things. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at precipitation type. So right now, by Saturday night, you have an area of sleet breakout, because the cold air is deep enough, and or the warm layer is shallow enough to where the snow that falls through that warm layer, it has time to refreeze into ice pellets. That's pretty much what sleet is. It's frozen rain, but it's frozen melted snow. There you go. There, frozen melted snow. I'm going to stick with that. So this frozen melted snow here in the red, that is sleet. The blue obviously is snow. This purple here, this is liquid frozen snow. But it's falling in an environment where the surface temperature is below freezing. So the liquid, the rain, will fall on tree limbs, will fall on power lines, and it will freeze because the surrounding air is below freezing. Now, what we said yesterday, and look how far north this sleet line is well to the north. That is interesting. That may cut down on some snow totals in central Virginia. But like we said yesterday, this freezing rain is a self-eliminating process. So heat is released as water freezes. So unless you have a good way to kind of replace the heat with enough cold air, then it's going to eventually turn to rain. So freezing rain, if left alone, eventually turns to rain. Now, on the other side of the mountains, as we go through the day on Sunday, we still have sleet hanging on to the Piedmont of North Carolina, getting into Virginia, according to this particular model, and rain on either side. So that's the classic signature of a cold air damming event. And this is I'm pretty close to a Miller Type B storm system. Miller Type B storm systems, like we said yesterday as well. So you could tell not much has changed between the two videos, between yesterday's and today's video. Not much has changed. But anyways, that's probably a good sign because it gives some confidence to the current forecast. Sleet still hangs on to the Charlotte metro area up towards Greenville. Well, maybe some freezing rain in Greenville, Spartanburg. Greensboro, sleet. Richmond, Virginia, sleet. Looks like Raleigh, Durham is in the area where freezing rain could be an issue. Then as the system kind of evolves and slides continuously northeastward, the sleet turns to freezing rain, so that warm layer gets a little thicker, or the surface temperatures get a little shallower. And we're going to take a look at the surface temperatures now. Yeah, we're still pretty good into the upper 20s here across the Charlotte metro area. So this will be freezing rain for sure, which means a icing event. As far as snow totals, sorry for that. So as far as snow totals, we're still looking at a foot of snow or more for parts of northern Virginia, potentially. Unless that sleet mixes in, then we're looking at a little bit less, maybe 10 to 14 inches of snow, and then on top of that, some sleet accumulations. But not as much sleet accumulations as the Carolinas. The Carolinas are probably looking at a particularly devastating ice storm in parts of the southern mountains of North Carolina. Now, the good news is by Sunday night, at least according to the NAM, temperatures in probably the hardest hit areas where ice is going to occur, so right here, in the southwest mountains of North Carolina, temperatures will get above freezing by Sunday night. So we got that going for us. Now, as far as hazards, here is the Weather Prediction Center's probability for day 3. So this is pretty much Saturday, so 7 a.m. Saturday to 7 a.m. Sunday, of probability of 4 inches or greater. So you got a pretty good shot at seeing some decent snowfall. Here's this particular graphic is greater than or equal to a foot of snow up here in parts of northern Virginia and West Virginia, and then here is the probability of seeing some damaging ice accumulations of a 1/4 inch or more. So along that I-85 corridor in upstate South Carolina and into North Carolina, getting into the Fayetteville, maybe perhaps the Raleigh-Durham area, it could see some, has a good shot of seeing some damaging ice accumulations. There we go. Here is the probability of seeing a 1/2 inch of ice or greater. And notice that North Georgia, upstate of South Carolina and the southern mountains of North Carolina have a decent shot of seeing twice as much damaging ice accumulations, and now until Sunday morning. Now, this is until Sunday morning. Like we showed earlier, the NAM model still has sub-freezing temperatures through Sunday morning into the afternoon. So on top of whatever has fallen at the end of this model run at 7 a.m. Sunday morning, some additional accumulations are possible. If we look at the European model, the European model is a little warmer, just like we showed yesterday. The European model still has a chance of precipitation ending as rain across the Charlotte metro area and the upstate of South Carolina. So here, so you take a temperature of 35 degrees in Charlotte metro area, maybe 30, 31, or 32, 31 degrees. And we look at the precipitation, so that's going to be, that might be rain right there. So, that's pretty heavy rain too. So areas probably along and north of I-40, according to the European model, is going to see some pretty heavy wintry weather. Now, this might be sleet, might be freezing rain. On the southern parts of Virginia, northern parts of North Carolina, and maybe snow or sleet in the northern parts of Virginia. Taking a look at 850 temperatures. Yikes. Yeah, that would be over here in north central Virginia. We're looking at 850 millibar temperatures of 4 degrees Celsius, so that is above freezing. However, surface temperatures are much below freezing. So we're looking at 23, 24 degrees across the same area. So that's going to be sleet or perhaps freezing rain up there. So that's going to cut down on the snow totals. So as far as the Carolinas are concerned, we're still looking at a pretty decent shot of seeing an ice storm develop in western parts of North Carolina and the upstate of South Carolina. Sleet and freezing rain are looking more and more likely across southern Virginia and perhaps getting into northern Virginia, according to the NAM and the ECMWF. That will cut down on the snow total. So instead of measuring, maybe instead of 20 inches towards the northern part of Virginia, you're probably looking at maybe about a foot, 12 inches, maybe even a little bit less for northern Virginia and parts of western or eastern West Virginia. As far as the forecast goes for the western part of Carolinas, just be on the lookout for ice, and that's going to be awful. Major impacts on infrastructure, power outages, internet outages. Travel is probably not advised anywhere in the Virginias or Carolinas, at least until this storm passes. Afterwards, of course, we've mentioned this before, afterwards, cold air surges in for Monday and Tuesday. The ECMWF maintains that heart of the cold air be in the Pennsylvania, Northern Virginia, West Virginia area, and it does not make it as far south as previous runs, which is probably good because any salt solutions on the roads in the Carolinas will be rendered useless Monday night into Tuesday because you got temperatures still pretty cold. You got 16 degrees. Any salt solution is going to be absolutely useless. So that's it for this video. Not much of changes have been made to the current forecast from yesterday. We will get more data in for the high resolution models tomorrow, in which case I will update again with a revised forecast for timing and accumulations. Until then, I hope y'all have a great day.